The idea that the bar path on your squats should be straight is a lie. People say this because you want the center of mass over the middle of your foot. That is true, but the bar is not your center of mass. Look at a direct side view of somebody at the bottom of a squat. Hell, do it with your own squat. Most of the body is actually behind the barbell, thus most of the body weight is also behind the barbell. We are worried about the center of mass of our body and the bar combined. So our combined center of mass is going to be slightly behind the barbell when we are squatted down at the bottom. Now compare this to the top of a squat. Our body is more evenly distributed, our center of mass is more or less in line with the barbell, and even in a more hunched over low bar position this is the case. Account for this difference in the center of mass between the top and the bottom of our squat, and we should expect our squat bar path to actually be angled forwards a bit as we descend. This effect will be more pronounced the more you bend over in a squat. Now with that being said, you can still have your bar path go too far forwards and also have it overcorrect backwards. These both throw off your balance and hurt your ability to push fully with your legs. If you look at most people misgroove a squat, this is the issue. See the sticking point in this clip? You see how I have to shift back on my heel before the bar really starts moving better. You can tell if you're balanced over midfoot because you won't feel this period of adjustment before you feel like you can really push with your legs out of the hole. It will just feel like one smooth transition. You can also pretty easily tell when the center of mass is not over midfoot because you will simply feel off balance. This is what will cause that rapid shift backwards. And in the worst of cases like this, you'll overcorrect backwards and fall. Just ask Teenage Lifter Matt what that feels like. Now, what causes people to lose midfoot balance in the first place? It can be several things. One common cause is trying to stay too upright on the descent. You'll see a lot of people have a so-called good morning squat because their body needs to correct into a less upright position in order to maintain midfoot pressure. I'll link below to a good video by Steve Denovi of a way to cue to help to get proper descent lean. I also find it's something you can just consciously do. Just lean over more. Some cases it's that simple. Another issue can be hyperextending the back and rib cage. I have a good video about positioning for these that I will also link below. Just don't squat like LeBron. Ankle mobility can be an issue in some cases, causing people to have their heels raised and to shift to their toes in order to hit depth, but I think this is an overstated issue. To test if you have ankle mobility issues, hold onto a rack for support and see if you can hit depth with your normal squat stance and toe angle. I find 90% of the time, people with so-called ankle mobility issues can hit depth just fine. The rack actually has a magical power that makes your ankles more mobile so you can hit depth. Just kidding, the actual issue wasn't mobility in this case, it was stability. Hence, when you held onto the rack for support, you can hit depth just fine. Now, if you do have actual ankle mobility issues, I suggest doing these bodyweight squats holding onto the rack for support so you can really sit your weight down, use a narrow stance, and focus on pushing your knees forwards, basically maximize your ankle range of motion. And calf raises with a focus on as deep a stretch as possible at the bottom are good too. People don't realize that lifting is as good at building mobility as stretching is. Link to a meta-analysis below. Now on top of that, programming pause squats and tempo squats are good ways to naturally address this. You can pause in the hole or slightly above parallel on the way up. In the hole will naturally force you to maintain the balance in the bottom position. Focus on keeping your normal descent speed with these pause squats. This will make it as specific as possible. Don't slow down any more than you have to for the pause. Pause squats above parallel on the way up really work on that shift back to your heels out of the hole. Be strict and pause just an inch or two above parallel. It will teach you not to get too far on your toes and then shift back rapidly, as well as maintain proper position, as doing either of these wrong will really make this pause much harder. Tempo squats are good as well. When you go slower with them, you can really focus on midfoot pressure and working the cues from above, as well as focus on proprioception of your midfoot pressure. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful, helped you get a better understanding of what your squat bar path should be like, where your center of mass on the squat actually is, and how to work on keeping it over your midfoot. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, thanks for watching.